Hello viewers, in this OPEC enhancement series, we will be dealing with a very interesting topic, that is the application of GIS, Geographical Information System, inside library OPEC. Here we are going to study how different kind of bibliographic data formats. Normally we are dealing with library like Mark 21 data sets, Dublin core metadata sets, how that can be manipulated, that can be configured to support geodetic search. So, in place of textual search, we can adapt textual plus geodetic search to support enhanced library OPEC. For some kind of resources like travel guides, like geographical data objects, like geological documents, like different kind of space related information bearing object where place names play a very important role in retrieval. So, their geodetic search may be very useful, very handy to support end user enhanced retrieval. So, let us go for the presentation first, then again like other deliberations also. Here we are also going to see or demonstrate a real prototype which can support geodetic search for both Mark 21 based metadata system as well as Dublin core metadata system. So, let us start. So, as you can see, the title of this particular deliberation is that OPEC enhancement, enhancing library retrieval through geodetic search. So, first we need to understand that how geodetic search is different and how we can integrate that kind of facility inside a library retrieval system. First of all, we need to understand that what is the difference between the search system and a discovery system. Typically, a library OPEC is a search system which provides a structured search interface like novice user search or advanced user search meant for specific data type. So, we are dealing with only bibliographic data, not many other heterogeneous data systems like geological data, geographical data or cultural data. So, data set is almost homogeneous in nature. We catalog all resources in the almost in the same way and expect user that they will be able to define their topic of search and they will have a moderate search literacy. On the other hand, a library discovery system is a Google like simple but OPEC like elegant, meant for variety of data types, normally heterogeneous data it can handle, that means bibliographic data, geographical data as well as cultural data, can accommodate many schemes, many rules, help users to define topic of search and tools to support low search literacy. That means that kind of system includes different kind of end user oriented devices that can help them in retrieving relevant resources against a specific query, instead of having skills to define their own search term and to translate that particular search term by using different search operator like Boolean operator, relational operator and positional operator. Now, this is normally the architecture of a typical library. So, here users are basically dealing with lot many library retrieval silos. We have OPEC as a silo, then ebook as another silo, institutional digital repository as another silo, lot many external resources, subscribe resources, open access resources. So, our users here in a typical library system or a typical library OPEC oriented system, our users are basically moving from one retrieval silo to another retrieval silo to get different kind of resources. But in compare with that, a discovery system is a single point retrieval interface where all internal resources like your catalog silo, your ebook silo, your idea silo, different kind of external resources, different kind of subscribe resources can be merged into a single central index, and that central index can support discovery through a single window search system. And this can also be include a full text extractor like Apache Tika. It's an open source full text extractor that can help us to support not only the metadata but also search at the full text level. So, this is basically the difference between the retrieval silo oriented library search system, the present generation, and the future generation which is coming in a rapid way, that is called integrated retrieval by merging all kind of retrieval silos. But even in case of a integrated retrieval system, like by using a discovery tool like ViewFind, Blacklight, SoapBack, etc., there is still a problem in searching where users need to set different kind of Boolean operator to retrieve related resources where place names are very important. So, for example, I will be showing you that suppose I want to know the documents that deals with iron ore, but in different parts of India or different parts of Orissa. For example, say I want to search Kotok, Barbil, Bailadila and so on. So, I need to frame a particular query where I need to give iron ore and within bracket Kotok or Barbil or Bailadila or Sambalpur and so on. So, this is this creates a problem for the searchers who are not having that kind of search literacy. In information retrieval silos in Indian libraries are no exception. We only provide textual search in spite of tremendous advancement in digital information representation and retrieval. And in fact, we don't teach also in the LIS courses the modern aspects of information retrieval. We still talk about different kind of pre-coordinate and post-coordinate based system, and we are ignoring the possibilities, applications and issues related with the image search, multimedia retrieval, multilingual retrieval, cultural object retrieval, heritage information retrieval, GIS search, integrated search through discovery and so on. So, especially we are dealing with geodetic search or application of GIS in case of library retrieval system in this particular deliberation. So, textual search, although it is a very popular in present time, lot many time people start their search by using or entering keywords and by combining keywords by using different kind of search operators, as I said, Boolean, relational, positional. But sometimes textual search is simply finding a needle from a haystack, and it may be very difficult to find out the relevant information through the application of very sophisticated, very complex search operators by following the query syntax or query formulation rules of a given retrieval engine. As I said that in case of documents where geographic names or place names are very important, there geodetic search can perform marvelous. And as I said in example that if we do not have a device like help of the GIS search or geodetic search, we do not have any other option but we need to enter something like this to search iron ore in different places of Orissa. Iron ore and place name 1 or place name 2 or place name 3 or place name 4 and so on. So, it is a very complex situation, and it is too much to expect from a novice user that he or she will be able to find out relevant documents against this kind of complex query formulation. So, place versus space is very important thing to know before we go further in this particular deliberation. We need to know that place is a cultural concept, whereas space is a physical concept. Cultural resources mainly deals with places rather than spaces. So, place names tend to be multiple, or same place names may be known by many names, equivocal, that means synonymous, and changeable due to various socio-cultural issues. For example, in India we have seen a series of name changes of different important places. So, it can change by both names and by boundary. Space is a more modern concept and is more stable. Places include spaces, and thereby two or more places can be linked to each other by reference to a common system of spatial description, and this thing is called georeferencing. For example, we can express or we can describe a particular space either by name or by their intrinsic longitude and latitude. A single set of longitude and latitude will indicate a particular place or a particular point inside the space, and whereas a boundary like westernmost, easternmost, northernmost and southernmost will give us an area. So, this is an internationally expected system of latitude and longitude. It provides a common standard, and very importantly, georeferencing allows both location and spatial relationship to be visualized in map display. So, not only it will provide a kind of device that will help user to locate to locate documents with a set of given geographical names through different kind of complex query formulation, but also it will provide a visualization kind of thing, and information visualization is becoming very important day by day in all kind of library retrieval system. So, you can view this particular deliberation as a combination of a geodetic search as well as visualization of geodetic search, so that people can easily frame a particular query, they can browse, they can navigate from one document to another document by the help of a displayed map. So, to objective, if you see the objective of this particular geodetic search based library system, the objective may be categorized into three groups, that is to explore geospatial search mechanism for documentary resources on a given geographical area, to extend data encoding both for Mark 21 and DCMS to major data standards in library, how it can be manipulated, it can be configured, it can be encoded to support geodetic search, and to develop enhanced searching and browsing facilities for documentary resources where place names and spaces, oblique spaces play big roles in retrieval. For example, in the right hand side you can see a particular picture where in search interface I can type a name, I can call the map, I can locate a particular geographical area, I can give a particular keyword here. So, this keyword based key textual search can be combined with the displayed map, which is basically the application of GIS technology inside library retrieval system. Let us have a look at what is happening at the global level. So, one of the most comprehensive digital library system of our time is Trove. So, there if you search by maps, so it can retrieve lot of maps, but those maps can be retrieved against textual search. There is no support for visual search device, no support for geodetic search. So, this is the situation of Trove. You can search map as a format, but you cannot search documents with a given with a set of given place names or spaces from the Trove. Now, another big digital library initiative of our time is Europeana. There you can see I can search by map, map as a format, map as a collection, then it can display map, but I cannot search Europeana with the help of a map, or I cannot locate a particular space against a particular textual search by utilizing the visual display of a given map. Now, this is another one that is called DPLA. DPLA is one of the big digital library system in US. So, you can see here huge number of images, text, videos, sounds and maps are available there, but there are also no facility available for end user to search different kind of geographical resources, different kind of resources where place names are very important, like travel guides, like data sets, etc. We don't have any other scope except textual search. If we go by the WorldCat, you know, this is one of the largest or why one of the, this is the largest bibliographic data source in the world. It includes 8 billion resources, bibliographic resources. Here also I can select map as a format. You can see from here that in the format I can select map as a format, but search is still textual. We cannot take the help of a map to locate a particular place. So, this is Library of Congress, possibly the largest national catalog in the world. So, here also you can see I can search the maps against by selecting the format as a map, but search is still textual. So, most of these digital library system or library catalogs of the world are basically providing support to utilizing map as a format at the time of searching, but no visual support, no visualization, no support for the interactive maps are available inside the search interface. So, search is typically textual and it can be very complex, as you know. So, it is quite possible that in a library search system, in the OPAC enhancement series, people are trying all over the world that how search can be enhanced, how OPAC can be enhanced, how OPAC can be make rich to support lot many different kind of search tools, not only the Boolean, relational and positional operator. So, here we developed a particular model. So, first one is the data encoding model. We took, as I said, that both Mark 21 and qualified Dublin Core. In Mark 21, there is a tag called tag 034, which has got 4 subfields. So, in this particular 4 subfields, we can enter different space related information, mainly longitude and latitude. So, subfield D stands for, and it gives in ON sequence, western, eastern, northern and southern. So, subfield D deals with the westernmost boundary or westernmost long lat value of a place. Subfield E deals with the easternmost values, subfield F deals with the northernmost values, and subfield G deals with the southernmost values. Similarly, in case of a qualified DCMS, we can enhance dc.coverage primary metadata element into dc.coverage.time and dc.coverage.spatial. dc.coverage.spatial may include longitude and latitude of a given place. Then after encoding is over, we can prepare a central index in a discovery system. What we have utilized here, ViewFind, and what tool we are using or what retrieval engines we are using, that is a very sophisticated open source retrieval engine, that is Apache Solr. So, first we need to develop a mechanism to map MARC formatted data. MARC formatted data are available in 2 formats in this particular model. Tag 034 deals with the different kind of longitude and latitude. It can be a point or it can be a boundary or area. Then the place name is given in the geographic name authority. Tag 651, tag 651 deals with the geographic name, and then we can link this encoded data with the Solr. So, same mechanism we had followed in case of DC encoded data. Here dc.coverage.spatial and then link with the Solr. So, finally, this geodetic search interface, the data may be coming from the Apache Solr retrieval engine, and it is supported by both textual search as well as interactive map. Now, you can see here an example of encoding of a typical MARC record. So, this MARC record, the title is Ocean Waves and Pack Ice in Antarctic. So, in here you can see that particular pack ice area of Antarctica. Here we can enter into 034 tag. Subfield A, that is category of scale, is linear. The value linear is represented by lowercase a. Then subfield D, westernmost longitude, so this is the value. Then subfield E, easternmost longitude, this is the value. Subfield F, northernmost longitude latitude, and subfield G, southernmost latitude. So these values we need to collect against a particular space, we need to enter inside the mark data set. And in 651 we can give the geographic authorized geographic name value there in 651 subfield A, geographic name, that is Weddell Sea. So this is actually authorized from FAST, Geographic and Name Authority. FAST stands for Faceted Application of Subject Terminology. Similarly, for uncontrolled term we can use 653, but the most important two tags are 034 for long-lat values and 651 for the geographic name authority values. Similarly, if we have an article which is basically going for a different kind of article level standard, there we have to encode Dublin Core metadata initiative. But before that, here you can see that in a Mark 21 bibliographic format, as I said, 034 is most important one, but we can encode values in two different standard. One is called DMS standards, degree, minute, second. So here the formula is that H DDDD MMSS. So what does it mean? H stands for hemisphere, then DDD, that means degrees in 3 digit, then minutes in 2 digit, and seconds in 2 digit. So this is called DMS model. Another one is decimal degree model. So here the formula is H DDD dot 6D, that means hemisphere, that means it's a northern hemisphere or western hemisphere, etc. So hemisphere you can give, then you can give degree and degree dot decimal degree. So both the models you can see here. This is basically deals with the decimal degree data encoding model. Both are possible, any one we can adopt. So here you can see 034 data sets, how subfield D, subfield D, subfield G and are basically encoded, and here you can see degree, minute, second model. Here subfield A, that is linear, then subfield D, we exactly followed the standard. W stands for hemisphere, then 3 digit for the degree, 117, then 2 digit for minutes, 26, and 2 digit for second, 30. Then easternmost longitude actually starts, then northernmost latitude and southernmost latitude. So in this way most of the cases library prefer DMS model, but both are possible, decimal degree and DMS. In case of Dublin Core, as I said, that Dublin Core provides DC dot coverage, and DC dot coverage can be DC coverage dot spatial and coverage dot temporal. Temporal deals with different kind of characteristics, temporal characteristics of content, and coverage dot spatial deals with different kind of spatial characteristics of content. So here you can see how we are encoding a particular place name here. So here DC element is coverage, enhancement or refinement is spatial, it's repeatable, any number of place you can enter. Similarly 034 tag is also repeatable in Mark 21. So here we can enter data. This is the metadata schema. I will be showing you how we can enter this one. So here we are utilizing DSpace, another very popular digital library solution in the domain of libraries. So here first we truncated the input form.xml, we updated the metadata registry first, truncated the input forms.xml. Then after that we will be getting a data entry worksheet like this, where coverage.spatial we can enter and coverage.temporal we can enter. Our target is coverage.spatial. So I have given here a few example. Say for example, we want to encode Rourkela, dc.coverage.spatial, name is equal to Rourkela, semicolon, western limit is equal to the value of this is actually in degree decimal format. southern limit, south limit is this, east limit is this, and north limit is this. This is the typical encoding standard as provided by Dublin Core application profile. Now, after that is over, one particular question is coming in your mind or popping up in your mind, that we are cataloger, how to know the coordinate values. Don't worry, if you go through your Mark 21 bibliographic data format, say for example Mark 21 is a family of 5 coordinated standards: bibliographic, authority, classification, holdings, and community information. So, in Mark 21 bibliographic format, you can have under tag 034 a guide. Mark 21 gives a list of possible sources inside the loc.gov standards source list cartographic data.html. For example, here one of the source list we are using here. Then after giving the name, we can select the standard, say for example Mark, and it can give me 034 tag, both all 4 subfield D, subfield E, subfield F, and subfield G. So, there we can take the values and we can enter inside Mark 21 catalog. Please go through the list of loc.gov. So, what components we are using to develop this particular prototype to as a proof of concept of geodetic search in enhancement in library OPAC. So, ILS we are using Koha as an open source software which supports Mark 21 bibliographic format. IDEA or the digital library system, we are using DSpace, another big open source project from MIT. So, here we are utilizing qualified Dublin Core with DC coverage. In case of Mark 21, as I said, we are using 034 tag. Text retrieval engine is a very sophisticated one. As I said, it is an open source retrieval engine. Lot many global services are using this Apache Solr. Map manager or the map display, we are using Leaflet as a JavaScript to interact between the textual search or to act as an interface between the textual search and the visual display of the map. From where we are getting the map, the OpenStreetMap is available under ODBL, that is Open Database Licensing System, that we can utilize in place of the Google Map. Google Map is licensed, but OpenStreetMap is available in the public domain, and Discover interface we are using Viewfind. Now, in indexing framework, as you know that indexing is the most important component of such kind of enhancement in OPAC. So, as I said, this is the mark data record, one particular record, all 034. 034 is a repeatable tag. So, one particular document can includes many places. So, here you see one such document, one such record 20,001 has got 5 place names. So, 5 place the long lat values of these 5 places we can add through 034 tag by repeating this particular tag. Similarly, DC coverage is also repeatable. Here we have given one example, DC coverage name is equal to place name, west limit, south limit, east limit, and so on. So, these two data format we have encoded data. Then we are using Solr, different kind of Solr is basically using location underscore geo, long lat field, long lat display, long lat label. So, Viewfind is connected with its backend Apache Solr retrieval engine through field. So, these data sets are actually going to this Apache Solr field. Now, after indexing, we can display map of a particular associated with a particular resource through the map tab view, or we can utilize this particular geographical map during search inside the search interface, so that people can utilize it. Before starting our live demonstration kind of thing, so in this particular proof of concept, it is that library OPAC can be enhanced. The textual search and geodetic search, a combination of these two can enhance library OPAC for all kind of resources, but it will be more valuable for certain kind of resources, like as I said, travel guides, geological and geographical data sets, different kind of mineral resources available inside the country. It provides a default GIS display by taking India as a whole as an envelope. User can draw search box to limit a particular place. They can browse by place name. They can zoom out and zoom in, and they can also search by coordinates by giving coordinate value. And inside the resource, after retrieval, they can also see the graticule, that means the square field representation of a given map in the map tab view. So, here you can see an example, although I am going to show you in live, that I am searching in first case. Suppose this has got no geographical search device. So, I am searching iron and Karnataka or Goa or Bailadila or Rajasthan. So, it will retrieve resources in this way. So, there are 8 resources. So, in place of this kind of complex Boolean search, this geodetic search interface is, if available in a library or pack, this kind of thing, I can call this geographic search interface. It will display a map kind of thing here, and as I said, the default envelope we have given this coordinate value 63, 93, 36 and 5, that deals with the entire Indian subcontinent. So, here it shows the moment I select this geographical envelope, search envelope, it shows this much of resources available with geographical data sets. That means either Mark 21 based data or Dublin Core based data. So, here you can see we have collected data from Koha, 51 in number, and LFL repository. So, Koha and DSpace. So, DSpace provided 14 number of documents and Koha provided 51 number of documents. Here this particular documents deals with Mark 21 encoded data 034, and here DSpace provides data in DC encoded format, that is the data inside the DC.coverage. Now, if after calling this geographic search I search by iron, you see here magically this particular data sets now produce that inside India there are 11 documents. Now, I can zoom in, I can zoom out, or I can draw a search box to locate a particular resource. So, if we go through the browsing mode, here you see the same 8 result what we got through textual search, that also we got from the geodetic search. So, same 8 results, but these 8 results actually given you 11 hits. This 11 is not actually representing number of documents. As I said, one particular document may include number of places. So, this is basically the number of place names available inside the document, but the number of document is actually 8. So, these 8 documents actually produced 11 number of data sets related to the geodetic search. In the same way, we can go to draw a particular box, this particular area you want to search. So, there it can give me a displays of 11 data into different areas of India. So, eastern part of India includes 4 number of resources, then southern part of the 6 number of documents deals with different kind of geographical area in southern India, and western India includes 1. So, we can again zoom it, that is I can click this plus sign. So, it can zoom in, and again you see here, if I zoom in the western side, there are 4 documents were there. So, now it shows that from this place name deals with 1 document, this place name deals with 2 document, and this place name in Chhattisgarh deals with 1 document. So, in this way I can zoom in or zoom out to either clustering of data or to provide data sets to show users that how these are distributed in different place names. So, both zoom in and zoom out are possible, and you can always zoom in to a particular place name. So, in the southern part I can zoom in again. So, in this way it can show me that which particular area, and if I click on this particular geo fencing, then it can show me the title of this particular document. and it can also retrieve this particular document. And after in the detailed view of this particular document, if it is supported by any geographical data set, automatically a map view tab will be created along with the holding, description, etc., typical OPAC tag. And in the map view you can see that this particular document deals with Orissa, India, Jharkhand, Karnataka and Goa, and 4 places are earmarked. This place is basically boundary. So, 1 place, 2nd place, 3rd place and the 4th place. So, in the detail map view you can see, or you can again display the map, and here from this particular slide you can see that JavaScript is leaflet, map is coming from OpenStreetMap, and the display format is basically we are using Stamen design. These are other examples and you have seen so far that how it is possible to utilize Mark 21 encoded data and Dublin code metadata encoded data set to configure such data sets inside our library OPAC or library retrieval system to support end user in retrieving or in discovering data sets on the basis of GIS based navigational tools, and both geodetic search and textual search can be combined together to support enhanced system. So, with this let me start the live demonstration process. So, this is one of the system, it is available from in a local machine. So, you can see I harvested data from both DSpace and Koha. So, 2 libraries, one particular library, this is the OPAC data sets, and this is the IDEA data sets, the catalog data sets and IDEA data set, both can be integrated in the same system. Now, let me try the same way what we have seen there. So, iron we can search, and then we are going for searching Goa or Karnataka or Odisha or say Bailadila. So, in this way, if I need to enclose this different other place names, we need to give the place name by using Boolean operator OR. Now, you see what this textual search generates. If I click, and here I can give iron and this one. So, little bit of modification will be there. Now, against this particular search, it shows me there are 6 number of results available here, but you can easily guess, and in this 6 number of result we are having from both this library system. It is basically coming from library system. Now, suppose I am not interested in this, what I will do, again I will go back with default interface. I will call my geographic search. As I said that India we have given as a default envelope. So, here you can see this particular coordinate values are working 68, 93, 36 and 5. So, it covers almost entire Indian subcontinent. So, here in this subcontinent we have total 96 number of place names and total number of document is 66. So, 66 number of documents, if you go to the end of this one, 66 number of documents actually deals with this 96 number of places. Now, suppose I want to search by something here after calling the geographical search, say iron ore. Now, momentarily it will be reduced, that number of place name is now 10 and number of document is now 7, and I can even if I click the zoom out value, you see what is happening, how documents are clustering into different geographical area. So now suppose I want to see that what are these three documents deals with what place names. If I click, so again it tell me this is the difference, and I can click here to know the title of this particular document. I can click here to title of this particular document. Now if I want to search in a given area, instead of giving that this place or that place or that place, I can again click the draw search box and I can draw an area. So this area suppose I need. So it says that when you are searching iron ore and selecting a particular geographical area, there are actually 1, 2 and 2, 4, 3 number of documents and 4 number of places. So here you can see. Now any one of these, say iron ore deposit in Rajasthan, if I click, you see what happens in the detail view. It can tell me that one copy is available in it automatically generated this map view. If I click this map view, now it can display the map itself and it can locate exactly or pinpoint exactly where this particular document deals with, and you can zoom in up to many level. So here you can see at the road level it can also display. So in this way we can enhance our library OPAC or library retrieval system by utilizing Mark 21 data sets. Provision is inside there, then Dublin core metadata, DC coverage is there. Then we need different kind of open source for indexing like Apache Solr, Viewfind Discovery, and different kind of map provider like OpenStreetMap, JavaScript library to deal or to act as an interface between the textual search and the visual search, geodetic search. In this way we can design the system. So thank you very much. See you.